trip to Middle and Western this week. Kind of picked up road momentum with that last road win. Just talk about your matchup with those two teams.
Uh, we got to figure out who we are. I mean, we've been up and down so much. I mean, usually consistency when you see playing tough games, having a chance to win, and we've been the team that has not had give ourselves a chance. We've been the team that fights to the end, and we've been the team that have won tough games. And I'm telling our guys, good, better, and different. We're going to be known for something. We haven't figured that out who we are yet, and it's evident. And I think our inexperience, I won't say our youth, our inexperience has really shown through these times. And so going into middle this week, we got to find out who we are, and we got to do the things that allow us to win games. I understand we got to do a scouting report, and I understand all that. But if we're not rebounding the basketball, if we're not taking care of the ball, if we're not, coming off the whiteboard out of the timeout and understanding what our assignments are, then we got a bigger issue than just beating Middle Tennessee. We got an internal team issue. And so we've been locking in on really being us. Like, we've had some really tough ones today. It was some blood shed in practice today and some nicks and some bruises. And so hopefully that takes us to a win.
You mentioned finding yourself. Does that, I'm assuming lineup changes, or is that too far to say? Or?
No, we'll probably go with the same lineup. I'm a guy that doesn't like to change the lineup too much. The reason I changed it before was a necessity based on something that went on with the team. And then I knew that, understood that when we played FIU, we needed ball handling out there. So that was out of necessity, and we had struggled on the road. So we're trying to find a way to be good on the road. But then, we're kind of going to get back the way we are. And then the other lineup changes, we got to have production. You just can't be in the lineup and not produce. At some point, I got to go make a change. And so if you're in the lineup and you're not producing, you're not putting in the work that it's going to take to produce, we got to find somebody that can go get in there and do that. And so I liked our fight last game. I liked the way we fought. I thought we fouled a little too much, and it shows our inexperience of being in the wrong places. But if we can continue that fight, we give ourselves a chance, and that's all you can ask for.
Devin, athletically, I know he's still relatively a young player. I mean, but the three-point shot obviously isn't falling like you guys have expected this year. What do you kind of attribute that to?
Work. It's the work you put in, If you're a quarterback and you don't go throw passes and you go to the game on Sunday, you're going to throw interceptions. If you don't go watch defenses and read defenses, you're not going to be as good. And so when you're struggling like that as a player, you got to get in the gym and work yourself out of a slump. And usually when dudes do that, I can remember last year, you asked me a question about Talik. Talik started the year maybe like 5 for 30 from 3. And you asked me, was I concerned about it? I said, no, he's in the gym. Pretty soon that ball's going to start falling. And he goes and leads our league in three-point percentage. When you're in a slump, you got to work harder than you worked before you were in the slump. So that's what has to happen there.
Anything, Ben?
Yeah, Coach. I know you guys look at analytics a lot. From a tempo standpoint, I think you guys are somewhere at the bottom of the conference. Is that something that you want to improve on? I know defensively, when you're struggling taking the ball out of the net sometimes a little too much, that can slow you down. But what are you at as far as the tempo, I guess, on the offensive end?
Well, that's exactly what it is. It's our defense. Like, you can't play at a fast pace if you're kicking the ball out of bounds every possession. Like, it just doesn't work in that regard that way. You can't play in a fast pace. The last game, it wasn't that we didn't get stops. It's that we fouled them and we sent them to the free throw line 30 times. So now they're playing stationary defense on the other end of the court, and we can't get any fast break opportunities. And you put that on top of, our ball pressure and our defense hasn't been great at the point of attack, and we're not creating many turnovers. And turnovers is not a thing where you go and just take the ball from people. The teams are too good for that. But usually if you're in the right places and you kind of locked into the scouting report, people will give you the ball because you kind of prepare for what teams are going to do. And we're not in those places that we're supposed to be. We're not creating turnovers. And then you topple that with we're fouling and taking the ball out of the net. It calls for a bad recipe for what we're trying to do.
Obviously, 3 straight road trips for this team, and obviously, like you said, you picked up momentum at FIU. How do you kind of keep the road momentum, going for this team? Obviously, in a spot where they need it.
Yeah, I'm just challenging the guys, to be really honest, and to be honest, I tried to give them a little self kick. Like, at the end of the day, I tell them all the time, good, bad, or indifferent, you're gonna be known for something. You're gonna be known for something, and I know good and well that right now we're not known for what we're supposed to be about, and that's toughness and gritty and defense. And we're going to go on the road, and we have to own that. And so we can either adhere to what people think about us, or we can go do something about it. And I'm challenging them personally. I'm challenging them as a team. I'm challenging my staff to dig deeper and see what we got so we can go on the road and do tough things.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you, guys.